In the late months of 1999, excitement was already moving across Europe, especially among fans who had waited years to see Michael Jackson perform live again. People from many different countries were planning trips, booking hotels, and counting the days until the MJ and Friends concerts. These were special charity shows, created to support families, children, and humanitarian causes, things close to Michael's heart. Even though he had already achieved everything a performer could dream of, he still wanted to use his talent to help others. That was one of the reasons he agreed to return to large stadium shows. Michael and his team had spent months preparing. He had performed in Seoul earlier that year for the first MJ and Friends show, but Munich, Germany had its own energy. The Munich concert was going to take place at the famous Olympia Stadion, a huge and historic venue. The moment the location was announced, thousands of fans rushed to buy tickets, and the stadium sold out quickly. People knew they were about to see something unforgettable, because Michael Jackson never gave an ordinary performance. He always created an experience. As the date grew closer, the city of Munich began feeling different. Stores started selling special posters, hotels filled with visitors, and the streets buzzed with conversations about the upcoming show. Fans waited outside the stadium days before the event, hoping to catch a glimpse of the stage or the dancers rehearsing. Some slept on the sidewalks with blankets, sharing stories of their favorite memories of Michael. Others walked around carrying signs or wearing handmade shirts with his pictures. It became more than a concert. It became a gathering of people from many places who shared the same admiration. Inside the stadium, workers were busy building one of the most complex stages the city had ever seen. Trucks carrying sound systems, lighting equipment, and huge stage pieces came in and out all day. The crew worked in teams, installing screens, arranging spotlights, testing cables, and checking the large machines that helped create magical moments on stage. Every piece of equipment had a purpose, and every detail mattered. Michael was known for perfection, and his shows involved large sets, moving platforms, and dramatic lighting that needed careful attention. One of the central parts of the stage was the platform used during Earth Song, one of Michael Jackson's most powerful and emotional performances. The platform was designed to rise high above the stage while Michael sang the song's final notes. It was meant to symbolize hope, healing, and the rise of nature. The musical message was about understanding the earth, respecting it, and caring for it. Because the theme was so strong, the performance needed to feel big and meaningful. Michael knew how important Earth Song was to many people. He felt a deep connection to the message of the song, and he wanted the Munich audience to feel that connection too. So he spent extra time reviewing ideas for the staging and making sure the emotional meaning of the song was clear. The rising platform was an important part of that message. As the crew worked, Michael also arrived for rehearsals. Whenever he entered the stadium, even quietly, the atmosphere changed. Even people who had worked with many artists before said that Michael had a special presence. He greeted the dancers, talked with musicians, and shared notes with technicians. He was always kind, calm, and focused. He watched every detail, from how bright the lights were to how the stage floor felt when he danced. His perfectionism was well known, but it came from a place of love. He wanted the audience to feel something beautiful. During rehearsals, Michael practiced each move carefully. He checked the timing of the rising platform during Earth Song, making sure he knew exactly when it lifted, how fast it moved, and how he should stand on it. He wanted the moment to feel natural and emotional, not like a simple technical trick. The rehearsals went well, and everyone felt confident. Outside the stadium, fans could sometimes hear the music echoing through the structures. Every time Michael rehearsed even a small part of a song, fans waiting outside cheered loudly. Some cried, some laughed, and some held their hands over their mouths in disbelief. It reminded everyone just how much his music meant to people, how deeply connected they felt to him, even without meeting him. When the concert week finally arrived, the weather in Munich was pleasant. The sky stayed clear and the cool evening air felt refreshing. It was perfect weather for an outdoor concert. Vendors lined up outside the stadium selling drinks, snacks, and glow sticks. Children held balloons, groups of friends took pictures, and families enjoyed the lively energy. All around the stadium, people talked about which songs they hoped to hear. Some wanted Billie Jean, others hoped for Heal the World. But almost everyone mentioned Earth Song because of its emotional impact and because of how beautifully Michael always performed it. Hours before the show, the backstage area was filled with activity. Dancers stretched and warmed up, musicians tuned their instruments, and technicians checked microphones and cords again and again. Michael's wardrobe team prepared his outfits. Sparkling jackets, military-style suits, and the green shirt he wore for Earth Song. Everything was clean, carefully arranged, and ready. Michael kept a quiet routine before performing. He usually spent time reflecting, praying, and focusing on the feeling he wanted to share with the audience. To him, performing was not only entertainment, it was a chance to connect with people's hearts. He once said that when he was on stage, he felt free, as if he could communicate without words. That thought stayed with him as he prepared for the Munich show. By late afternoon, fans began entering the stadium. The sun slowly set behind the roof structure, painting the sky in warm colors. Seats filled quickly, and the floor area became crowded with eager fans. The moment the stadium lights dimmed, the entire place erupted in cheers so loud they seemed to shake the building. The excitement was overwhelming. People held their phones, cameras, and binoculars, hoping to capture every second. From backstage, Michael could hear the crowd. Even after so many years of performing, he never became careless or tired of that sound. It always touched him deeply. He felt grateful, emotional, and ready to give everything to the audience. As the show began, dancers appeared, lights flashed, and the screens lit up with dramatic visuals. Michael entered with perfect timing, and the audience screamed with joy. The energy in the stadium felt electric, almost alive. Michael moved effortlessly, singing and dancing with the same commitment he had always shown. Song after song, the audience remained completely engaged, singing along, waving their hands, and shining lights through the air like stars. By the time Earth Song approached, the show had already delivered unforgettable moments. But everyone knew the emotional peak was still coming. The crew prepared the stage for the song's entrance, adjusting the machines, checking cues, and monitoring the platform that would lift Michael during the finale. Everything seemed ready and the team felt confident. After all, they had rehearsed it many times. Michael stood near the stage entrance, waiting for his cue. He closed his eyes for a moment, focusing on the message he wanted to share. Earth Song was not just another performance for him. It was a prayer, a reminder, a call for compassion. He took a deep breath and walked onto the stage as the first notes began to play. The Munich audience felt it immediately, the shift in emotion, the deep meaning behind every word. People listened quietly, soaking in the beauty of the performance. Michael's voice carried through the stadium with power and sincerity. The dramatic lighting matched the mood, and the stage slowly transformed behind him. As the song continued, the atmosphere grew stronger and more emotional, setting the stage for the powerful moment that everyone was waiting for. The moment for Earth Song had arrived, and Michael Jackson stepped onto the stage with a quiet confidence that only years of experience could bring. The crowd's roar was deafening, but he seemed to glide above it, fully immersed in the performance. Every movement he made was deliberate, precise, and filled with emotion. He raised his hands slowly, letting the music fill the stadium, and the audience responded with cheers and applause. Some fans whispered prayers, others sang along softly, and everyone watched with rapt attention. The stage itself was a masterpiece of design. Lights moved in harmony with the music, creating patterns on the floor that seemed alive. Smoke machines sent gentle clouds floating across the stage, giving a dreamlike quality to the performance. Michael's dancers moved gracefully around him, their movements synchronized perfectly with the rhythm and emotion of the song. The entire scene was carefully choreographed to support the message of hope, healing, and respect for the earth. Michael knew that this song required more than just singing. It needed storytelling, emotion, and a visual representation of the message he wanted to convey. That was why the special platform had been built. It was large, strong, and designed to lift him high above the stage during the song's emotional climax. From that height, he would seem almost like a figure rising in harmony with the earth itself, a symbolic gesture to match the lyrics. As he reached the bridge of the song, the platform slowly began to rise. Michael had rehearsed this moment countless times, knowing exactly when to stand, where to place his hands, and how to move to create the maximum emotional impact. The audience gasped softly as they noticed the platform lifting him up, their eyes wide with awe. Many of them had seen videos of his concerts before, but nothing compared to the feeling of seeing it live. There was a sense of magic in the air, a moment suspended between reality and imagination. From the side of the stage, the crew watched closely, making sure everything worked perfectly. Technicians monitored the platform's movement, keeping an eye on the cables, motors, and safety mechanisms. They had built this stage to be safe, strong, and reliable, but even the most carefully planned events carried a level of unpredictability. Michael, as always, focused entirely on the performance, trusting that his team had done everything possible to make it a success. As the platform rose, Michael extended his arms, letting the energy of the audience flow through him. His voice soared with the final notes of the bridge, and the stadium seemed to hold its breath. People cheered, clapped, and sang along. Children in the audience pressed their faces against the barriers, their eyes shining with admiration. Adults whispered to each other, amazed at the combination of music, movement, and message. The moment was both powerful and tender, reminding everyone why Michael Jackson had remained such a beloved figure in music and performance. At the same time, Michael remained fully aware of his surroundings. Despite the dramatic visuals and the grand stage effects, he focused on connecting with the audience. Every gesture, every movement of his body was meant to communicate emotion. He tilted his head slightly, closed his eyes for a brief moment, and let the music guide him. His fans, sensing the sincerity in his performance, responded with energy and devotion. It was a shared experience, a silent understanding between performer and audience, strengthened by the power of the song. The dancers on stage mirrored his movements, gliding across the platform, moving in harmony with the rhythm. Their costumes shimmered under the stage lights, adding a layer of visual beauty that enhanced the performance. Every step was precise, yet seemingly effortless. It was a display of teamwork, discipline, and artistry. Michael always emphasized that a great performance required the entire team to shine, not just the star on stage. The dancer's dedication reflected his leadership and the respect he showed for everyone involved in the production. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the technical crew continued to monitor the stage carefully. The platform moved smoothly at first, rising slowly and steadily. Cameras captured the moment from every angle, broadcasting the performance to the screens around the stadium. The visuals were stunning. Michael appearing to float above the stage, surrounded by light and movement. For the audience, it felt almost unreal, like watching a dream unfold in real time. Michael's energy remained consistent throughout the performance. He had a remarkable ability to maintain focus, even with thousands of eyes watching him and complex machinery moving around. He moved with grace and purpose, aware of every detail but never letting it distract him from the music. He smiled at the crowd, raised his hand in acknowledgement, and continued singing with passion. Every note was deliberate, every movement intentional, and every expression filled with meaning. The audience was completely captivated. Some fans held their hands to their chests, feeling the music in a personal way. Others waved banners, signs, and glow sticks, adding to the visual spectacle. The energy in the stadium was contagious. People were laughing, crying, singing, and cheering all at once. There was a sense of unity, a feeling that everyone in the stadium shared a common purpose: to experience the music, the message, and the presence of one of the greatest performers in the world. As the platform reached its highest point, the song's climax approached. Michael extended his arms fully, letting the music carry him and the audience along. The visuals on the screens behind him depicted images of nature, forests, rivers, and wildlife, reinforcing the message of the song. The combination of music, movement, and visuals created a powerful emotional effect, leaving the audience in awe. It was a moment that felt larger than life, yet deeply personal to everyone watching. At this point, the importance of every element, the lighting, the dancers, the platform, and the audience, was clear. Each part of the performance contributed to a story that transcended a simple concert. Michael's artistry lay in his ability to make complex ideas accessible and emotionally resonant. He wanted people to not only enjoy the music, but also feel inspired to care about the world around them. The song was a plea for awareness, a call for compassion, and a message of hope. Even as the performance reached its emotional peak, Michael remained in complete control. His experience and preparation allowed him to navigate the complex choreography and machinery with confidence. He had spent years perfecting his craft, and it showed in every step, every gesture, and every note. For the audience, it appeared effortless, but behind the scenes, it required immense skill, focus, and dedication. Throughout the performance, Michael maintained a connection with the audience. He made eye contact with people in the front rows, nodded to groups of fans, and smiled warmly at children waving from the barriers. His presence was magnetic, drawing everyone into the moment. Even those watching from afar felt his energy, his sincerity, and his passion. It was a reminder of why he was known as the King of Pop, not just for his talent, but for his ability to touch hearts and inspire people across generations. As the song approached its final moments, the platform continued to rise steadily. Michael's voice grew stronger, reaching notes that echoed throughout the stadium. The audience joined in, singing along with enthusiasm. The combination of sound, movement, and visual imagery created a memory that everyone in the stadium would carry for years. It was a shared experience of beauty, emotion, and human connection, brought to life by a performer who understood the power of music better than anyone else. At that point, everything seemed perfect. The lighting was brilliant, the dancers were synchronized, the music was flawless, and the audience was fully engaged. Michael had successfully created the emotional moment he had envisioned. The stage, the song, and the audience had become one, sharing an unforgettable experience that transcended ordinary entertainment. As Earth Song reached its most powerful moment, the stadium was completely silent in awe, except for the chorus of voices singing along with Michael. The lights shone brightly, reflecting off the sparkling costumes of the dancers, and the audience was completely immersed in the performance. Every detail of the stage, from the smoke effects to the moving lights, worked in harmony to create a magical experience. Michael Jackson stood on the rising platform, tall and radiant, his arms lifted as if he were embracing the entire stadium. The scene felt larger than life, a breathtaking mix of music, emotion, and spectacle. Michael's focus remained entirely on the music and the message of the song. He could hear the voices of thousands of fans echoing back to him, each note and cheer reinforcing the connection he felt with the crowd. He tilted his head slightly and closed his eyes for a moment, letting the emotion of the song fill him. He had always believed that music could touch people in ways words alone could not, and at that moment, he felt it happening. Every person in the stadium, young and old, was experiencing the song together, sharing a deep, almost sacred moment of human connection. The dancers moved gracefully around him, their movements perfectly synchronized with the rhythm of the song. They lifted their arms, spun in coordinated patterns, and created visual echoes of Michael's gestures. Their costumes shimmered under the bright stage lights, adding depth and texture to the performance. It was a demonstration of teamwork, dedication, and artistry, all blending seamlessly with the music. Michael always emphasized that a performance was not just about the lead artist. It was about the entire team working together to create something unforgettable. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the technical crew kept a close eye on the platform and the stage mechanisms. The machinery had been carefully designed to be safe and reliable, and they monitored every movement of the rising platform. Cables, motors, and pulleys worked together to lift Michael smoothly into the air. The platform had been tested many times during rehearsals, and the team was confident in its strength. However, even the most well-prepared systems carried an element of unpredictability, and the crew remained alert, ready to respond if anything unusual occurred. As the platform slowly ascended, Michael extended his arms fully, letting the energy of the audience flow through him. The visuals on the screens behind him displayed images of nature, rivers, forests, and mountains, highlighting the song's message of hope and care for the earth. The combination of music, movement, and imagery created a powerful emotional experience. For the fans, it felt almost dreamlike. Children pressed their faces to the barriers, captivated by the spectacle, while adults whispered to one another, marveling at the beauty of the performance. Michael's focus never wavered, even with the large platform moving beneath him. Years of experience had taught him how to maintain concentration, balancing movement and expression with awareness of the stage environment. He knew exactly when to step, where to place his hands, and how to maintain balance. Every motion was intentional, a careful blend of artistry and control. He smiled at the audience, acknowledging their energy while staying true to the emotion he wanted to convey. As the platform reached higher into the air, the audience grew even more excited. The stadium seemed to vibrate with anticipation, the energy of the fans creating a shared sense of awe. People waved banners, clapped in rhythm with the music, and some even held glow sticks that added small points of light across the darkened stadium floor. It was a moment where music, technology, and human emotion merged into a single, unforgettable experience. Michael's eyes scanned the crowd. He looked toward the front rows, where children and families were fully absorbed in the performance. He noticed smiles, tears, and expressions of wonder. These small details mattered to him more than anything. He always wanted his music to reach people, to inspire them, to give them a sense of hope. The audience was not just watching a concert. They were participating in an emotional journey, and Michael was guiding them every step of the way. Behind the stage, the technical team continued to monitor every detail. Cables were checked, motors were observed, and safety measures were double-checked. The platform's movement was smooth and controlled, but even minor deviations could create a risk. The crew had trained for years to handle such situations, remaining calm under pressure while ensuring the safety of everyone on stage. They worked in harmony with the performers, understanding that the show's magic depended on both artistry and careful technical execution. The song's lyrics and music reached a crescendo. Michael's voice rose powerfully, carrying the message of healing, unity, and compassion. The audience responded with overwhelming emotion, many standing and singing along. Parents held their children in their arms, friends embraced, and strangers shared glances of recognition, united by the performance. It was a rare moment where the music itself seemed to lift the entire stadium, creating a feeling of collective uplift. As the platform continued its ascent, Michael maintained his position, moving gracefully with the rhythm of the song. His movements were fluid, natural, and filled with emotion. Every gesture, every turn, and every step contributed to the storytelling of the song. The dancers mirrored his movements with precision, creating a visual echo that reinforced the song's message. The combination of choreography, lighting, and music created a layered and immersive experience that the audience would remember for a lifetime. Even with the platform rising, Michael appeared calm and composed. His years of performing on large stages had prepared him for complex environments. He had faced challenging situations before, from intricate choreography to elaborate set pieces, and he approached each performance with careful attention and discipline. His calm presence reassured the audience, making them feel that everything was under control. The visuals on the large screens behind the stage emphasized the song's message. Images of rivers flowing, trees swaying, and animals moving through natural landscapes complemented the lyrics. The audience could see the connection between the music and the world it represented. Michael's goal was not only to entertain, but also to inspire reflection and awareness. He wanted his performance to leave a lasting impression, one that encouraged people to think about how they could make the world a better place. As the song neared its peak, the platform reached its maximum height. Michael extended his arms fully, his head tilted slightly, and his expression conveyed a mix of hope, compassion, and determination. The lights illuminated him from multiple angles, creating a halo effect that enhanced the symbolic nature of the moment. The audience erupted in applause, cheers, and shouts of admiration. It was a moment that seemed to capture the essence of the performance, the connection between artist, audience, and message. The dancers around him continued to move in perfect synchronization, their actions complementing the story being told through music. Their energy matched Michael's, creating a seamless experience for the audience. Even the smallest gestures were meaningful, adding depth and dimension to the performance. It was a reminder that a truly memorable show required collaboration, attention to detail, and shared dedication. From the side of the stage, technicians monitored every movement. The platform was performing as expected, rising smoothly and steadily. They observed closely, ready to respond if anything appeared unusual. Their presence ensured that Michael and the performers could focus entirely on the music, confident that the technical aspects were in capable hands. The audience, unaware of any potential technical concerns, remained captivated. They watched as Michael Jackson, elevated above the stage, delivered one of the most emotional moments of the evening. Fans sang along, waved their hands, and cheered, fully immersed in the performance. Some were moved to tears by the combination of music, imagery, and emotion. Others smiled in quiet awe, recognizing that they were witnessing a once-in-a-lifetime experience. At that precise moment, the performance reached the height of its emotional intensity. Michael's voice soared through the stadium, his gestures communicating a message of hope and unity. The dancers, lights, and visuals reinforced the story, creating an immersive experience. Every element of the performance had worked together, achieving the effect that Michael had envisioned. For Michael, this was more than a performance. It was a moment of connection. He could feel the energy of the audience, the rhythm of the music, and the impact of the message. It was a culmination of years of artistry, dedication, and vision. The audience shared in that moment, experiencing a sense of awe, inspiration, and emotional resonance. The platform had reached its highest point, and the stadium was alive with the energy of the audience. Every eye was fixed on Michael Jackson as he performed the most powerful and emotional part of Earth's song. The lights illuminated him perfectly, casting his silhouette in a way that made him appear almost like a figure lifted above the world. The music, the visuals, and the choreography combined to create a breathtaking experience. The audience was completely immersed, feeling as though the performance was larger than life, a magical moment that would remain in their memories forever. Michael remained focused, fully in the moment, as he sang with all the emotion and passion he could summon. The song's message of healing, compassion, and respect for the world seemed to resonate through every note. He extended his arms, tilted his head slightly, and let his voice carry over the entire stadium. The audience responded instantly, their applause and cheers forming a chorus that echoed across the venue. Children clutched the hands of their parents, friends shared excited glances, and fans of all ages were united by the shared experience of this extraordinary performance. Backstage, the technical crew monitored the rising platform closely. Every movement had been rehearsed countless times, yet there was always a need for vigilance. The machinery had been carefully designed for safety and reliability, but complex stage setups always required attention. Crew members watched every cable, motor, and pulley with precision, their hands ready to intervene if necessary. They were aware of the responsibility they carried, ensuring the safety of a world-renowned performer while maintaining the seamless flow of the show. As Michael's voice soared, the platform continued its ascent. The audience was captivated, their focus entirely on the performer and the story he was telling through the song. Fans waved banners, clapped, and sang along, their excitement growing with each passing moment. The visuals on the screens behind Michael added depth to the performance, showing images of rivers flowing, forests swaying in the wind, and mountains bathed in sunlight. These images reinforced the song's message and added an extra layer of meaning to the performance. Michael's presence on the platform was commanding yet serene. Years of performing on stages all over the world had given him the ability to remain calm and composed, even in complex situations. He moved with grace, his gestures deliberate and meaningful. He focused on the connection with the audience, making eye contact whenever possible and conveying emotion through every movement. The audience, in turn, was fully engaged, sharing in the magic of the moment and experiencing a sense of unity and inspiration. Suddenly, there was a subtle shift in the movement of the platform. It wavered slightly, not enough for the audience to notice immediately, but enough to catch the attention of the technical crew. Their eyes widened as they realized that the platform had deviated slightly from its intended path. Hands reached for control panels and radios buzzed with communication as the crew attempted to correct the movement. Despite the minor concern, Michael remained unaware of any issue and continued performing with the same poise and energy. The audience was completely absorbed in the performance. They could not see the slight technical irregularity and only felt the powerful music, the emotional singing, and the dramatic visuals. The stadium seemed to hold its breath, fully engaged in the story being told on stage. Michael's gestures, the dancers' synchronized movements, and the imagery all combined to create a moment that felt almost surreal. The magic of the performance was in full effect, and the audience was caught up in its intensity. As the platform continued to rise, the technical team worked swiftly and quietly to correct the small deviation. They communicated calmly over radios, making adjustments and monitoring the machinery with precision. Their professionalism ensured that the issue was addressed as efficiently as possible, minimizing any potential disruption to the performance. Michael, completely focused on the music, remained unaware of the behind-the-scenes activity, trusting in his team and maintaining the flow of the song. The dancers on stage mirrored Michael's movements perfectly, their choreography synchronized to create a visual echo of his gestures. Their expressions and energy enhanced the emotional impact of the performance. The audience, captivated by the combination of music, movement, and imagery, remained fully engaged. Many fans were moved to tears, others smiled in awe, and the sense of shared experience grew stronger with each passing moment. It was a testament to the power of music and performance, demonstrating how art could unite people in a profound way. Michael's voice reached the peak of the song, carrying the emotional weight of the lyrics with clarity and intensity. He moved fluidly, raising his arms, tilting his head, and conveying emotion through every subtle gesture. The platform, despite the earlier slight wobble, continued its ascent smoothly. The technical team remained vigilant, ready to respond if any further adjustments were necessary. Their focus and coordination ensured that the performance continued uninterrupted, maintaining the illusion of perfection for the audience. The audience responded with overwhelming enthusiasm. They clapped, cheered, and sang along, fully immersed in the experience. Some waved banners, while others held their hands over their hearts, moved by the emotional resonance of the song. The combination of Michael's voice, the dancers' choreography, the stage lighting, and the visuals created an unforgettable moment. It was a demonstration of artistry, teamwork, and dedication, showcasing the ability of music to inspire and connect people on a deep level. As the song neared its final moments, the platform reached its intended height. Michael's gestures became more expressive, emphasizing the message of hope and unity. He extended his arms fully, as if embracing the audience and the world itself. The stage lights bathed him in a soft glow, and the visuals on the screens behind him complemented the final notes of the song. The audience erupted in applause, cheering and clapping in response to the powerful performance. Despite the earlier minor irregularity, the platform remained stable. The technical crew continued to monitor it closely, ensuring that Michael could complete the performance safely. Their focus and coordination behind the scenes were essential to maintaining the seamless flow of the show. Michael, completely immersed in the music, remained unaware of any potential issue. His attention was entirely on delivering the emotional impact of the song and connecting with the audience. The dancers moved in harmony with Michael, their expressions reflecting the emotion of the song. They spun, lifted their arms, and glided across the stage, creating a visual representation of the story being told through the music. The audience watched in awe, fully captivated by the combination of movement, music, and imagery. It was a moment of pure artistry, demonstrating the power of collaboration and dedication in creating a memorable performance. Michael's energy remained steady, his focus unwavering. He continued to sing with passion, delivering the final notes of the song with precision and emotion. The audience, fully engaged, responded with overwhelming enthusiasm. The shared experience created a sense of unity and inspiration as fans of all ages felt connected through the music. It was a testament to Michael's ability to touch hearts and create meaningful experiences through his performances. As the platform began its controlled descent, the audience remained captivated. They clapped, cheered, and sang along, unaware of the minor technical concern that had occurred moments earlier. Michael's performance continued seamlessly, his gestures and expressions maintaining the emotional impact of the song. The dancers followed his lead, ensuring that the choreography remained synchronized and visually compelling. Backstage, the technical crew continued to monitor the platform carefully. They made minor adjustments as needed, ensuring that it descended smoothly and safely. Their attention to detail and professionalism ensured that Michael could complete the performance without interruption. The seamless coordination between the performer and the technical team was a key factor in maintaining the integrity of the show and delivering an unforgettable experience for the audience. As the final notes of Earth Song played, Michael extended his arms one last time, conveying a message of hope, compassion, and unity. The audience erupted in applause, cheering and clapping in response to the powerful performance. The stage lights dimmed gradually, highlighting Michael and the dancers in a final dramatic tableau. The moment was captured perfectly, leaving an indelible impression on everyone present. Michael took a final bow, acknowledging the audience with a smile and a wave. The dancers joined him, and the applause continued, filling the stadium with energy and admiration. Fans held up signs, cheered, and sang along, celebrating the culmination of a performance that had touched their hearts. It was a moment of shared joy, inspiration, and appreciation for the artistry and dedication that Michael and his team had brought to the stage. Even as the performance ended, the energy in the stadium remained high. Fans talked excitedly about the experience, sharing their favorite moments and reflecting on the emotional impact of the song. Michael's ability to connect with the audience, convey meaningful messages, and create unforgettable experiences was evident in every reaction. The performance had succeeded in uniting the audience, leaving a lasting impression of hope, beauty, and human connection. As the final notes of Earth Song faded into the cool Munich evening, the stadium remained electrified with emotion. Michael Jackson stood at the center of the stage, his arms extended in a gesture of gratitude and connection, and the audience erupted in applause, cheers, and shouts of admiration. The crowd's response was overwhelming, an ocean of hands waving, voices singing along, and faces lit with wonder and joy. For many in the audience, it had been more than a performance. It was an experience that touched their hearts, uplifted their spirits, and reminded them of the beauty of music and its ability to unite people across the world. Backstage, the energy was equally intense, though quieter and more focused. The technical crew, stagehands, and dancers moved swiftly to wrap up the performance, ensuring every element was secure and organized. Michael's team checked the stage equipment, making sure everything was functioning correctly and that nothing had been damaged during the show. The platform, which had carried Michael to dramatic heights during Earth Song, was carefully lowered and secured. The crew exchanged relieved smiles. Despite the challenges of complex stage machinery, the performance had concluded successfully without any significant issues. Michael, ever the professional, took a few moments to compose himself. Even after giving one of the most emotionally charged performances of the evening, he remained focused and grounded. He acknowledged the dancers, musicians, and crew members who had worked tirelessly to make the show seamless. His appreciation for their dedication was evident in the way he spoke and moved, expressing respect and gratitude for everyone involved. Every person backstage felt the impact of his sincerity, realizing that the magic they had created together was the result of collaboration, trust, and shared passion. The audience, meanwhile, continued to react with awe. Many fans remained in their seats, clapping and cheering long after the music had stopped. Some were wiping away tears, moved by the emotional depth of the performance. Others discussed the breathtaking visuals, the powerful message of the song, and Michael's extraordinary presence on stage. It was clear to everyone in the stadium that they had witnessed something rare and memorable, a performance that would stay in their minds and hearts for years to come. As Michael walked off the stage, he remained connected to the audience, waving and acknowledging their energy. His ability to maintain that connection, even as the performance concluded, was one of the reasons he had become a global icon. Fans felt seen and appreciated, not just as spectators, but as participants in a shared experience. The bond between Michael and his audience transcended the music itself, creating a moment of unity and shared humanity that left a lasting impression. Backstage, interviews and media coverage began almost immediately. Journalists and camera crews documented the event, capturing the excitement, the emotional responses of the fans, and the details of the performance. Michael's professionalism and composure were noted in every report. Commentators described the show as a remarkable combination of artistry, storytelling, and emotion. Many highlighted Earth Song as the highlight of the evening, praising its message and Michael's ability to deliver it with such sincerity and power. Despite the intensity of the performance, Michael remained focused on the core purpose of the MJ and Friends concerts, supporting charitable causes. He was deeply committed to humanitarian work, and the Munich show had been part of a larger effort to raise awareness and funds for families and children in need. His dedication to these causes added an extra layer of meaning to the performance. Fans and media alike recognized that this was not just a concert for entertainment. It was a platform for positive change and inspiration. In the days following the Munich concert, stories and accounts of the show spread quickly. Fans shared their experiences online, in newspapers, and through personal networks, describing the breathtaking visuals, the emotional performance, and the energy that Michael had brought to the stage. Many noted how the music had moved them personally, inspiring reflection on the song's message of healing, compassion, and care for the world. The performance became a symbol of hope, demonstrating the power of music to influence hearts and minds. Michael himself reflected on the event with a sense of fulfillment and humility. He knew that the performance had resonated with people in a profound way. For him, the true success of the concert was not in applause or recognition, but in the emotional and spiritual connection he had fostered with the audience. He often said that music was a bridge between people, a way to communicate what words alone could not. The Munich performance had been a perfect example of that philosophy in action. The dancers, musicians, and crew also felt a deep sense of accomplishment. They had faced the challenges of a complex, high-energy performance, and yet everything had come together beautifully. The shared sense of teamwork and creativity was palpable, and everyone took pride in the result. For those involved, it was not just a professional achievement, it was an emotional and artistic milestone. They had contributed to something larger than themselves, and the experience left a lasting impact on each member of the team. Fans, too, carried the memory of the performance long after the concert ended. Many described it as a life-changing experience, noting how the combination of music, movement, and message had affected them personally. Children and adults alike shared stories of how Michael's performance inspired them to think about kindness, compassion, and the importance of caring for the world around them. The show's emotional resonance continued to spread, touching people who had not even been in attendance, through media coverage and word of mouth. In interviews after the event, Michael spoke about his goals for the performance. He emphasized the importance of connecting with people's hearts and inspiring positive change. He described how Earth Song was meant to raise awareness of the beauty of nature and the need for compassion and understanding in the world. His words reflected the sincerity and thoughtfulness that had guided every aspect of the performance, from the choreography to the staging to the emotional delivery of the song. The Munich concert, and particularly the performance of Earth Song, became an enduring part of Michael Jackson's legacy. It was remembered not only for its technical brilliance and visual spectacle, but also for the depth of emotion and humanity it conveyed. Fans and historians alike often cite it as a defining moment in his career, demonstrating the unique ability of Michael to combine entertainment with meaningful messages. It was a reminder that music could transcend entertainment and touch something deeper in the human spirit. Even years later, fans would recall the evening with vivid clarity. They remembered the lights, the choreography, the visuals, and most importantly, Michael's presence and passion. The performance became a symbol of hope, artistry, and inspiration, demonstrating how one person's dedication and talent could leave a lasting impact on thousands of lives. It was a reminder that great performances were not just about technical perfection, but about the emotional connections they fostered and the memories they created. In conclusion, the Munich concert of 1999 and Michael Jackson's performance of Earth Song stood as a testament to the power of music, artistry, and human connection. The audience, the crew, the dancers, and Michael himself all contributed to an unforgettable experience that transcended ordinary entertainment. It was a moment of beauty, inspiration, and shared emotion, a reminder of the impact that dedication, passion, and artistry can have on the world. The memory of that evening lived on in the hearts of everyone who witnessed it. Fans spoke of it for years, describing the feelings it had inspired and the lessons it had imparted. Michael Jackson, through his talent, focus, and dedication, had created a performance that was more than a show. It was a celebration of music, humanity, and the enduring power of hope. The legacy of that night in Munich became a shining example of why Michael Jackson remains one of the most beloved and influential performers in history. The story of the Munich concert reminds us all of the beauty that can be created when passion, talent, and intention come together. It is a story of artistry, teamwork, and connection, a story that continues to inspire and move people even decades later. Michael Jackson's performance of Earth Song was a perfect expression of his mission as an artist: to entertain, to inspire, and to make the world a better place. One song at a time.